welcome back for another episode of the Currency Club. Today's special guest is my lifelong friend. Her name is Latasha Wallace. She has a business that's really important because it could help a person land their dream job or their next opportunity.
Hi, Currency Club. I am Latasha Wallace. I am a wife, a mom, and I am the owner of MPACT Consulting. And what I do at MPACT Consulting is I started off doing resumes. So the biggest bulk of my work is doing resumes for individuals who need that help and assistance so that they can get the dream job or just they're ready to switch up that career level. And then I also do some document work as well as some small HR work within MPACT. I am a diehard admin person. I love organization. I love paperwork. I love documents. I love law. And that is really what inspired me to kind of go into the field of work that I do. And it also is what inspired me to go ahead and birth MPACT.
Okay, so I know you said at the individual level, you do a lot of resume writing. What is one of the biggest things that you see as being an issue with your clients' resumes?
A lot of people use Indeed, so they'll use the doctored up Indeed resume and they don't edit it, they don't edit the words, or even just make sure that the career objective stands out.
Let's just say I'm a job seeker. I have a job. I'm not 100% happy with it. I am trying to get to the next level, right, in my career space. What does the process look like for working with you? I imagine I send you my current resume, but then what happens?
So I always ask individuals, let me see their current resume so I can kind of see what the basics about them. Plus, it also helps with rebuilding that new resume. So it's just reaching out to me, letting me know what you need. I have a couple of different price packages based on like your level of expertise in the field, and then I also ask, what resume are we building? Are we building a resume that is more so geared towards the field that you're in, or are we looking to really branch off into a new field? Because we kind of want to tailor that to also make sure that you are attractive and look like a good candidate for a field that you haven't got the experience in, but you want to grow in that field. So I ask those questions to kind of get an understanding. I always ask, where do they want to grow? What is their passions? I really get into what are we doing this resume for? Why are you pursuing that job? So that way, when I'm tailoring that resume, I'm tailoring it towards that job or that career field or career area that you really, really want to get into.
What are the top 3 things a person should have on their resume?
I would say one is that career objective. Got to make sure that career objective is standing out. You got to make sure you're hitting those keywords, and you also want to make sure that it's geared towards that job post. Don't have your resume too lengthy. It's nothing wrong with having a 2-page resume, but I see a lot of people that have it too lengthy, and that just distracts the reader. I know when I'm getting a resume in my day job, if it's too lengthy, I start to gear away and I don't read it all. The bullets, I've seen like 20 bullets for one position. Just keep it at 4 or 5 bullets. Really highlight those key points, those key tasks that you do at work, and just make sure you're using the perfect wording for them. I think sometimes there's a lot of or there's incomplete sentences. It makes you question a little bit of, do I really want to pull this person in? Writing is a big thing I think people don't understand, is that your writing really sells you. If I'm going to read your resume and it's reading and there's a lot of blanks, there's a lot of all over the places, I'm going to kind of question your expertise with writing, communicating properly, and all those things. So I think a lot of people don't take that in consideration, or they just don't know. A lot of people just don't know. They're like, whatever, I'm going to send my resume over. Here you go. And then we get it and we like, oh, there's people I really wanted to be like, just let me do your resume for you. But those are some of the key things that I think are really important, as well as your education credentials. Making sure that you really put down those certifications or degrees, really sell yourself. I think a lot of people have a hard time selling themselves. And what they'll do is that they'll try to do it themselves. And if you're not skilled in technical writing or professional writing or resume writing at that, have somebody do it for you that can really help you, because the whole point is to make it easy and then make you land that dream job. So let's make it easy and just hire someone like me. Of course, hire me. And I can really sell you up, get you some good wording in there, really lay it out, and make sure that you are a good candidate for that job.
Okay, so you said something that stuck out to me. You told me that one of the most important things to include on your resume is an objective. And to be honest, I didn't know that because I haven't job searched in 5 years. Like, I've been with the same company for 5 years, right? And when I thought about revamping my resume present day, I did not include an objective on there. I thought that was like outdated. Like, I thought that my keywords, like you mentioned, in my certifications and experience should do the talking. I didn't know I needed an objective. So let's talk about that. Like, why is that still important?
That career objective, it's like when you're writing a paper or you're writing an email, that's your introduction. Who are you? Why are you here? What do I need to know? And there's a lot of stuff you can put in your career objective you can't put in your resume. When I was looking for a new job, I would attach a cover letter with my resume, but a lot of people don't, and it's not always where you have to attach a cover letter. So if you're not attaching that cover letter and that introduction to you, use that career objective. About 2, 3, maybe 4 sentences. Introduce yourself, your passions, your skills, and then let them go through and start looking at those bullets from your professional experience, so we can kind of see some of those keywords. But you can also throw a lot of those keywords in that career objective.
So when you say keywords, just confirm with me, are you talking about keywords from a job description for your desired job, or are you talking about keywords from like my own work experience? Okay.
But more so from the job description. So if you have, like, typically when individuals come to me, they know it's a job that they want to apply for. I say, send over, let me see the job, because you want to take out some of those keywords and make sure that they're reflective in your resume. But then also, half of the time, some of the tasks that you've already done kind of have some of those keywords. So just making sure they're in, or it may be a different version of the word. No, I want to pull in that full word.
Okay, so how long does this take? Like if I'm trying to get a new job and I need my resume like tomorrow, like how quick is your turnaround?
So I typically have a 2 to 3 day turnaround for the rough draft, where I'm getting the draft to you. You're gonna read it over. You're gonna tell me your thoughts about the layout, the wording. Just full fledged. Let me know whatever it is you think and what you don't like. I do expedited resumes, but I also attach a fee for that, because along with MPACT, I also have a full-time job, and then I also have 4 children, and a 5th child would be my husband that I gear my life towards. So if you want that expedited, I kind of I'll ask for a fee, and then I just need everything. Like, I want the full package together, so that way I can really move as fast as I can for you. But I also think that it's taking time to really craft it and going back and forth with my clients, that really builds that resume. So let's talk about each aspect. Let's look at each section. What do you think of this? What do you think of that? And then I'll give them some mock stuff to look at, so I can kind of compare and contrast stuff from like their field. But I do have a couple clients I've done some expedited for. And I really, I don't like to brag, but I am good at what I do. So typically, if you want that expedited, you're going to get the quality. You're going to get the best work that you can get, and you're going to be able to take it in 24 hours and go ahead and get that job.
Okay, so number one is nothing wrong with adding that extra fee for an expedited resume.
Right.
Because if you go get another service, that's what's going to happen. If you try to go to a nail shop, hair shop, don't have an appointment, and they're squeezing you in, hairstylists have no problem charge you that squeeze in fee. So if you want it expedited, I see no problem with that. The second thing is I really like your emphasis on like open communication, constant communication with the client, and then also just the collaboration and feedback. Like I think that's really important for any type of good or service. So earlier today, you said that you have services for both the job seeker, but then also employers. What type of services do you offer in the HR space for employers?
I always like to give it understanding of who I am and what I do, because a lot of people want to question, like, how you can do what you do. Like, I need to know your background, I need to know your credentials. So I'm real big on putting that out there. So just let people know, I have a bachelor's in criminal justice. I have a master's in public administration. I am a certified professional with the Society of Human Resource Management. And I have 5 years of experience in administration, particularly in the HR field. When I look at small businesses, a lot of them, you're up and coming, you're trying to build everything. You are the worker, or it may be you and another person. But a lot of times they don't build that foundation. HR is a solid foundation for you as well as your employee. It's a safeguard. So as you're building, think about putting that safeguard in place. And I always tell some of my small businesses, that's not your job. You're here, you're building your business. You may be cooking. You also are cleaning. You're also in inventory. Why put the stress of trying to put together your small business package of your administration functions and all your contracts and your payroll? Why put that pressure on you? That's what I do. Let me come here. Let me handle that. You get my expertise. You get my structure and my order. And it helps you to be able to focus on the other aspects that you really need to have your attention on. So it's really important to be able to bring in that administrative leg and that human resource leg, so that way you can be able to fully function in what you do as the business owner, as well as the worker, because we are already being honest with small businesses. You are the worker, you are the constructor, you just do it all. Don't put that extra pressure on yourself. And you don't want to find yourself with, you didn't hire some employees, you didn't got them or you payroll them, and there's all these legal issues that come up and all these conflicts that come up, and you're not protected because you didn't have a contract with them. You don't have a policy that they can be that they're supposed to abide by and have signed to abide by. It's not that easy just to fully run a payroll. Sometimes you need that help. You need that system, and you don't have time to try to figure out the system, work the system. That's again, contract out. Have somebody come in and help you with that. Help them build that platform for you, even if it's just building it and then you taking it over. You're at least getting the expertise to understand how it's going, how to work it, so that way moving forward, if you want to do it on your own, you are doing it with knowledge and experience and competence.
Yes, it's just like we talked about with the fashion brand building episodes,
Mm-hmm.
where if you don't have that skill set and that subject matter expertise, you should outsource the work to
Right.
somebody who does. It's a
Mm-hmm.
convenience for you. I mean, you might have to pay a little bit for it, but if
Right.
that's what it takes for your brand to execute at the level you want, then you should definitely do that. So let's talk a little bit more about educational requirements. You already
Mm-hmm.
touched on your education and your skills
Mm-hmm.
and your experience, but what else does a person need if they wanted to do this type of work?
A lot of this, to be honest, has come from not so me being in those formal technical and professional certifications, but just me being in the field that I am. So if you are a solid writer, you know how to write. Sometimes it's just taking a little bit of extra courses, professional writing, technical writing, to kind of take those and really make sure that your writing stands out. I took a lot of time to really study proper techniques with writing resumes, and talking to a lot of technical writers and professional writers who kind of helped me along the way. Actually, I think when I really got into resume writing is when I graduated with my undergrad, and I needed help because I was like, I don't know how to write a resume. I don't know what I'm doing. And I ended up going to a local nonprofit, and he just sat down and he walked me through section by section. He talked to me about what each of them mean. He talked to me about how to sell myself with the resume. So that one-on-one time I've had with him really helped me understand it a little bit more and to see the importance of it. With taking that and then also continuing to work at my craft of resume writing and just technical writing in general, I was able to grow a lot more, and that's where I'm confident. Like if you come to me and you want some writing, you whether it's a document writing or resume writing, you're gonna get that quality because I have taken the time to really invest in myself. A lot of people don't take that time to invest in themselves, and they just want to go ahead and say, okay, I'm going to do this. Okay, but have you really took the time to study it, to understand the ins and the outs and all the proper logistics of how to do what you want to do? That is really important when we're looking to branch off and do small businesses and things like that. Like, take that time to really cultivate it. I think we're in an area where it's like, okay, I want to do this. I found out in November I want to do it. December I'm out here, I'm doing it. No. How about you create a 6-month plan where these 6 months you're going to do some investing in yourself. You're going to see who could be a mentor to you in that field, what you can read, maybe some courses you can take to really stretch it out. So that way, when you come and you release your information, you really have that solid background to say, this is what I do. I'm confident in what I can do because I've done X, Y, and Z.
Got it. Love that emphasis on investing in yourself, which I feel like you need to do regardless of what profession you're
Right.
in or what your goal is. You need to
Mm-hmm.
take the time, do the research, do the reading,
Yeah.
perfect your craft. With the resume writing piece, what percentage of this is HR experience versus writing skills and abilities?
I would say the majority of it is just my writing skills and abilities. The HR component came in where I'm like looking at them. So I'm seeing them on a daily basis. So I'm seeing like, ooh, yeah, oh, that's a really good resume. So I think that really helped me look at them a lot more. I think that is what drawn me in more to be like, you should really do this. A lot of people need this help and support. And honestly, a lot of the prices for them, individuals can't afford. Like somebody can't afford to pay you 150 right now to do a
Mm-hmm.
resume. I think my prices are pretty reasonable and standard for the area that I'm in. But like if you go down to Atlanta, they want $200. You're going to give them that $200 to do your resume. Some people can't afford that. So, and some people, they're trying to get into that career field. What if you have a high school student fresh out? I'm not going to charge you 150, and you still just fresh out of college, trying to get that job, or even fresh out of high school, because it can be both. You just want that help. So
what are your thoughts on resume templates? Do you use templates for resumes, or are people getting something original?
So I don't use templates. I have a file of like layouts. What do you want to see? Some people want that color pop. Oh, I want a little color. I want to have my picture. I want to do this. I want to do that. Or I have a different ones for just those standard black and whites with a little emphasis. Some templates are really good. I think, like in our Word document on our laptop, they'll pull up a resume template for you. But do you know how to actually put the information in the template? Because you say, oh, well, why would I hire somebody when I could just pull it up on my, laptop? I can just type it in myself. But are you using keywords? Are you selling yourself? Are you making sure your resume matches that job description that you want to go for? And you got to remember, if I'm going for a position, typically there's thousands of other applicants. I want to make sure that mine is the one that stands out. So that's why I'm going to take the time to go to someone who can help me, because I need you to make mine stand out, because I need to get the bag. And in order to get the bag, I need to make sure that resume is good.
Facts. So beyond Microsoft Word, what other resume builders do you have experience with, or would you recommend?
The resume builder, I like that one. Microsoft Office and Word, I think they have really, really good ones that you can pick from and lay it out for, especially for people that actually know how to do a lot of technical and professional writing. I think those are really good. I despise Indeed.
Thank you.
The Indeed layouts are just bad. If you look at 1,000 of individuals that use Indeed resumes, they all look the same. And that's where if I've got 5 different resumes for Indeed, and then I got one that's crafted and more authenticated for somebody else, that one's going to draft a lot of my attention. You want to get out of having that typical layout that everybody got, because you want to make sure that you need to find something that's going to make you pop. Yeah, your information could be good and that could help you pop, but it's also finding that layout that'll okay, these all look the same, but this is attracting my eye because it looks more cleaner. It has a lot of more sight lines. Okay, let me pull this one to see what they are doing.
Okay, so earlier you touched on different prices for different services. Let's talk about the money. So give me some details about the prices.
For my HR services, it's based on need. So I like to sit down with my clients, let me know what you are looking to do, because there's so many different aspects. Do you just want me to do the onboarding, the offboarding? Do you want me to do compensation and benefits? Do you want me to administer your full payroll? Like, there's so many different things that you could ask or need. So I always ask, what exactly are you looking for? And then what time will it require from me, whether it's just a one-time job where you need me for 10 hours, or whether it's like, okay, this is a consistent contract and you need me so many hours a week. So for that one, it's hard to say exactly what it is, because it's always what do you need from me? For my resumes, I always have my resumes start off at $50 to build them. And then I go based on level of expertise. So $50 is your standard entry-level professional who is just looking to go into a different job. Now, when we move over to those who have that more tenure or experience, and they're really looking to just switch over fields. They've been doing this field for so long, they want to switch over fields. So then I look at starting at about $80, $90 to kind of look at what they need done, because a lot of the times their resumes are so long. It's really taking that time to like cut it down and see, okay, what can we keep that really sells you? And that takes a lot of back and forth, because when you're looking at someone that's 10, 15 years in the field, they want to keep everything because they've done so much work that has really grown their resume. But a lot of times, if I'm looking at like 5 pages, okay, we can't keep everything. We got to chop some stuff up. I also, in my packages, include a free revamp. So got your services done for me and you come back within a certain time period and you say, hey, can I get a revamp? I'll do that for free for you. If it's just some small minor updates, can you add another job, or can you take this out and kind of fix that career objective to kind of gear towards this? I don't have any problems doing those. But if it's like we're rebuilding a new resume for you, then we'll go back to some of my standard prices.
So for the people who want to utilize your services to get their resume redone or revamped, how do they pay you? Like, do you require a deposit? Are you asking for all your money up front? Do they only pay once they get the finished product?
So I ask for all of my money up front. I've had a couple people that kind of ran off on you, girl. Well, after I've done it and I've sent it to them, that's literally one of my requirements is with the documentation that you send the payments. Right now, I take my payments via Cash App or Zelle or cash if, I'm meeting face to face with.
And then for the entrepreneurs and the small businesses who may want to utilize your service, is it a limit to the contract? Like, are we saying a 1 month contract minimum? Is it a daily rate?
You tell me exactly what you need. I give you an idea of the timeline and the number of hours it'll take me to get it done. And then, okay, we'll do it for this rate of pay. And then, once it's done, it's complete. But I always say, if you need anything more, come back. And then there's those individuals where, no, I kind of want you to keep active watch for my payroll, as well as my onboarding and offboarding, and then updating my documents and things of that nature. And then also making sure that a lot of my documents are, and I'm fulfilling my compliance for a lot, because a lot of people have to answer to people. So that one will be more so of a contract to say where you're contracting me for. It can be so many months. It could be so many hours. It really depends on what the individual needs. And I think a lot of the times when we sit down and we talk about that, we can really kind of get an idea of what you need.
Let's switch it up and play a little game. This game is called I'm a Hustler. What's
Right.
the craziest thing you've ever done for money?
I'm gonna have to say, when I had went and donated blood, I was sick afterwards. I was lightheaded. Like, I'm not supposed to donate blood because I just don't do well with it. Plus, I'm a real queasy person, so too much blood just throws me off. And it wasn't even enough money. That didn't make sense to me. I'm like, why did I do that? That's not even enough money. But try anything, especially when you fresh into college and you're just trying to make it work.
Yeah, you walked out of there weak. Like, I ain't never doing this again.
Never.
Okay, if you had to come up with a large sum of money in a short amount of time, say, $10,000, 2 days, what would you do to get that money?
Oh, I leverage my skills. Like, I'm gonna leverage my admin skills. I'm gonna go ahead and call a couple people, and that's what networking. I know a couple people, and then I'm probably gonna put my husband to work because he's more of a seller than I am. So, and my husband is an associate banker. So if anybody looking for a mortgage banker, Latasha Wallace is the one to come to. I'm not a seller, but my husband is. So I leans on my husband, and then he'll come back to me like, all right, they need this. I'm real big on what I can do based on my skills. So I'm an admin person. I'm an administrative person. I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna sell, I'm gonna hustle, I'm gonna write some stuff up. I done wrote some stuff and got paid for it within like a 24-hour time frame, just because somebody needed like edit. Oh, can you edit this college essay? Cool, okay. Send me $100, we're gonna get it popping.
I don't even think we talked about this. Like, because I'm your friend and I've seen it, I've seen you say that I proofread documents for you. Are you grouping that with the HR services, or is that just a separate?
It's separate. So I do proofreading and editing as well too. I wish I would have did this when I was in college, so I could have made some bank. So a lot of times individuals will need like papers or letters proofread. So I do that as well too. I'll go ahead and read them. Now that starts at a certain rate. So like I do 5 cents per word for proofreading. But I think a lot of times individuals, that's just me reading. When you want me to craft it and help write it and help shape and format that, that's a different ask. That's a different service. So now we got to talk about what you want me to do with that. And now you're getting me into writing. So now we got to look at a little different packages. But I'm very reasonable. When I first got into college, I took it was one of the little intro writing classes. I failed. Mm-hmm. I did horrible. And he told me, he was like, you write like you talk. And I was like, what's wrong with that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what's wrong with that? And then I read my paper. Oh my God, it was horrible.
You know what I'm saying?
I wish it was. It was a lot of does, ands, and like why. So when I really wish I had somebody to do that for me when I was struggling and trying to learn how to write, that I can do for other people now. I'm trying to get my son to let me do it for him, but he's really good at writing. So he doesn't understand that his mom can also help him. And he's a freshman in college, so I think he just knows everything. So I'm just let him do what he do. I love people. I love to help people, sometimes to a fault. But when I see individuals who struggle with that writing, that resume, like I just want to get a job, and I don't have the skills. I don't have this. I'm not gonna be like, oh no, I can't do it because you got to pay me this. I've done a few resumes for the free, and it doesn't bother me. I just want everybody to win. So whatever I can do to help you win, that's what I'm gonna do.
That's why we here on a Currency Club. We want everybody to win. We are here sharing knowledge, tips, recommendations, inspiration, all that, because we want people to win. We right here with you, girl. We right here with you. I want to talk about marketing because you said you're not the marketing person. You said tap into my husband. Shout out to the plug for the husband. Teamwork makes the dream work. But
Right.
how do you market your business?
Oh, I'm horrible. I am actually about to find someone to help me with my marketing and social media because
Transparent moment. We love it.
I'm not a marketer. So right now I have my Facebook and my Instagram that I share my information on, and individuals can reach out to me for services and for more questions. But I'm not good. I'm like, I post a post every day, one time a day. That's too much. Like, I don't have the time for that. So that's where I know for me, my next step is I need to get somebody that can do my marketing and social media because that's not me. If it's not something that I'm good at or that I can do, I have no problem allowing somebody else to do it for me because I only want to do what I'm good at.
All right. So what sets your brand apart from others? And you already touched on some things. Like you
Yeah.
said, you're doing it for the love. Obviously, you want to get paid, but you're doing it
Right.
because you're passionate about the work. You said that your prices are very affordable for, low income people or people who don't have a lot of money to spend on this shit because clearly they're looking for a job or to level up in their job, which is why they're coming to you. But what else sets your brand apart?
I think like a lot of times when you get those individuals who do the consulting, so professional, it's a lot of standard and you have to go through this, you have to send this, and you have to send that. Whereas opposed to me, I'm just that more personal one. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to take your work if you don't need it. Like I've had a few individuals that will send me their resumes for me to view because I'll do that. Like I said, I do it at the kindness of my heart. A lot of people just want to know, like, am I compatible? Is my resume good? If you want to send it to me, fine. I'm not going to tell you, oh, no, you should do this, you should do that. I actually have some good resumes come across me, and I'm like, no, don't change nothing. Keep what you got because I'm not trying to get a dollar or a dime out of everybody. Some people just need that confidence to know, what do you think? And I have no problem doing that for other people. Everything doesn't have to be that price point attached to it. Like, what can I get from it? What I get a lot of times is the satisfaction of helping other people. I had a lot of people that kind of come back and I got the job, I got this, let me send you something because they haven't paid me for the resume because I just did it at the kindness of my heart. But if you get somebody that's reaching out to you and they just being vulnerable and telling you their struggles and that they just trying to get a new job to better their family, to better take care of their kids, I love that stuff. I was a single mom until I met my husband, so I understand the struggles, and you don't always have the money to kind of throw out here and there. So what you get from me is you get this authentic Tasha. I am passionate. I am helpful. I am everything concerns you. I always tell everyone when they send me information for their resumes, like, my job is to make sure that I'm making sure you shine. So give me the honesty. If this doesn't feel like it's you, then tell me. We're going to change it and make sure it's you. I'm not going to just do it and send it off and you say, oh, I don't like this. I don't like that. Oh, well, then, if you want me to change this, you got to pay me this. No, we're going to work with it together. I have a very collaborative approach with people. I want to collaborate with you because this isn't my work. It's your work. So I need you to help collaborate. We're working as a team to make sure that we're making sure you shine and you're going to get the job that you want to get.
What is your greatest challenge?
My greatest challenge is time management for me. I've had a lot of resumes come across, and I just want to help everybody. So it's so hard to turn people down, but if I don't have the time to do it, that has been a challenge for me. And then also the different flows of it. I think I bust out like 20 resumes one time and within a 5-day span. And I don't know how I did that, but I did it. And then there's times where it's just like really low. And there could be weeks that I just don't have any resumes. I think when you start a new business, it's the idea that, okay, it's going to boom, it's going to shake, it's going this. And sometimes it don't. Sometimes it can take a year for you to really see a lot of inflow coming into your business. So I think learning how to pace myself and understanding that, in the words of one of my friends, it's a marathon, it's not a race. That is really big. Shout out to BG, Brandon Guyton. He says that all the time. Just understand.
I think he stole that from Nipsey Hussle. But it's okay.
Yeah, it's Nipsey.
Shout out BG. Shout out BG.
It's Nipsey. But BG tell me that all the time. Like, it's a marathon, it's not a race. And I know that's something that I had to work on with myself, is like, when I start stuff, I be ready to go. I go at it, I go hard, and I'll be like, okay, where the return? And you don't always see a return right away. So I think one of my challenges for myself is the patience of it. Just taking my time. When it comes, it comes. When it's low and it's not coming in right now, it's fine. I'm still going to post. I'm still going to market. I'm still going to share. And I'm still going to say I'm here and I'm available to help.
You said a lot. It's a couple things I want to touch on and highlight. Number one, Tasha talked about the inconsistency and workload. Like, she admitted that she can improve her marketing skills, but
Mhm.
this for people seeking to be entrepreneurs, especially full-time entrepreneurs. You have to be okay with being busy, dedicating 100 hours one week to your business, but then not having any traffic the next week. Like, if you're
Yeah.
selling a physical product, having no sales one day, 1 week, 1 month, depending on what you're selling and how you marketing and promoting. That's one thing that people need to think about with entrepreneurship. Like, it's ups and downs, it ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
So it's all over the place, honestly. And then Tasha talked about time management. Time management is essential for everything you do. And y'all see her shirt, super mom, super wife, super tired.
Super
She is
tired.
doing a lot. She has a 9 to 5 job. She has children. She has a husband. She has a dog. She has a household to maintain.
Mhm.
And now she has this business on the side, MPACT Consulting. So I just said that to say time management is essential, but then also show grace when you are reaching out to people for a good or a service, because people may not always be able to respond 2 seconds after you text them, 5 minutes after you email them, whatever the situation
Yes.
is. So just think about that when you are engaging with any business, but especially a small business, like, most of us are on the Currency Club here.
I always say 24 to 48 hours. Just give me 24 to 48 hours to return any information to you. Sometimes it's way faster than that, but sometimes it's not. If I'm at work, you're not really going to hear from me until after 5, which is probably after my kids eat, after they're done for their sports. After now, you can get my attention. So I think a lot of times you want people to respond all right, because I've done that before. Like, oh, did they get my message? You don't know what they're doing, what they got going on. You just got to give people a lot of grace and understand that just because they didn't ask you within an hour don't mean that they're not deserving of your business.
What advice would you give to a person who desires to be in this space, helping others rewrite their resume or consulting in HR space?
Trust your abilities. Because a lot of times, when you're looking to start in a new field, especially in technical writing, there's so many people that can do that work, or you see people that actually got like a technical writing certification. This. Trust your abilities. If you know what you can do, you took in the time to invest in yourself, and you are knowledgeable about what you're doing, trust that. It kind of gets hard because your first thing is to get nervous and you start to compare yourself to other people. You cannot compare yourself to other people. That fear is a big, big part of why individuals don't pursue or don't continue with a lot of stuff, is because that fear of like, oh, well, what if it doesn't work? One of the staple quotes that I go by came from my pastor, Pastor Glenn, where he had said, feed your faith, starve your fear. If you starve your fear, you keep pouring into your faith, you're going to have more ability. You're going to believe in yourself more. You really going to pursue. And, fear is just a distraction. It keeps you from being able to go to that other level. And I am one where I try to really push out my fear and my nerves a lot of times. And a lot of times when you feel fear and nerves, that means you're on the right track. You're supposed to be doing what you're doing.
All right, so now let's switch it up and play another game. This game is
Okay.
called For the Culture. What is your favorite Black-owned business?
I think I want to go with one of my newer ones because I've been there a couple of times and I love their customer service and they have such quality. So there is a new sandwich shop here called the Brooklyn Bodega. Their sandwiches are just the best. They put a lot of love and passion into what they do, and you can see it. I'm going in, is his wife on the stovetop cooking, he's taking orders, and I love to see that. So I think that is really one of my favorite Black-owned businesses. And then also, I just love everything Whitney Styles does. So
Hey, okay. Was not expecting that. Thank you, friend.
No, I really do. I just love a lot of what you do, from your YouTube videos to your clothing. And you are really what I look at a lot of times. I'm like, I gotta step my marketing game up.
Okay, I can help you with that for free, behind the scenes. We're gonna talk behind the scenes,
right?
For sure. What is your greatest accomplishment with MPACT Consulting?
Releasing it, just really doing it. Like I said, I was doing this for a while, about over 7 years. I was doing some of this work. I could do the work. I have these skills, and I think one of my greatest accomplishments was stepping outside of my box, actually putting it out there for the world to see, putting money in stock into myself, like investing into myself and my abilities. Everything else is just a bonus because I really am not the most outgoing person. I don't talk a lot in more of a social aspect. I'm not big on social media. We're putting a lot out there. So for me to actually do that, I applaud myself because that's just very much so not me. Even being on here, I'm not a talker.
Yes, I wanted to ask her when she first launched her business, which I first started seeing mentions of the business last year. But I feel like, what date did you actually go public with this?
It's my birthday last year, November 27th, 2021.
Yeah, so I had Currency Club in mind, but I'm just like, I gotta let her get comfortable. I gotta socialize it with her. Then after, I posted 15 episodes, I was like, Currency Club is here and ready for you whenever you're ready to promote your business. So thank you, friend, for being a guest on the Currency Club and overcoming part of your fear of public speaking and, promoting yourself because you have the skills. You have the skills, you have the ability, you have the confidence. You got a dog, girl. We just got to put it out there for the world to see.
Thank
So,
you.
yes. When you are feeling down, what song or album instantly puts you in a good mood?
Juanita Bynum piece. Oh, that just gets me together. I'm a woman of faith, so typically if I put on some Whitney Bynum, some Yolanda Adams, some Marvin Sapp, it centers me and it gets me right back to where I need to be. Because a lot of the times when I'm down, it's more so me putting the pressure on myself and I just feeling the weight of a lot of the things that I create. Those really center me and help me get my thoughts back together.
Give us some inspirational words to inspire the viewers.
I think a lot of times we don't bet on ourselves. We start to compare ourselves to others, or a lot of it is who's going to support me. A lot of times the people that support you are not the ones that's the closest to you. It's going to be others. So just because the closest people to you aren't going to support you in it, that don't mean you stop doing it. So I think a lot of times we don't bet on ourselves, or we let others around us deter how we're supposed to do or what we're supposed to do. No, I stayed in that box for a long time. So that's when I decided that I'm pushing myself out of that box, I bet on myself. I know what I can do. I'm very confident in myself. So if I put that bet on me, then I know it's going to succeed because I trust in my abilities. And I just have faith that everything's going to happen as it's supposed to happen. There's going to be highs, there's going to be lows, but at the end of the day, everything is about learning and growing. So you're going to grow and you're going to learn from those highs, and you're definitely going to grow and learn from those lows.
Some of my biggest supporters are family and friends, but I also have a large support system from Facebook friends. People I never met in real life. They buying my clothes from Dress Code 187. They watching my YouTube videos. They commenting. They are, putting likes and comments on all of my pictures. So what you said made me think of a quote that I posted on Instagram like 2 years ago. And the quote is, do it alone, do it broke, do it tired, do it scared. Just do that shit. So like you said, just do it.
Yeah.
Just do it. You're going to figure it out along the way. Like that's a part of the process too. So Tasha, I really just want to thank you so much for your time, knowledge, inspiration, wisdom. You are amazing. I wish you the best of luck with MPACT Consulting.
I thank you for this platform, for giving me the ability to talk and speak about what I do and how I want to help and how I am helping people. I also want to shout out you. When you told me about Currency Club, I was so hyped because I just saw all the inspiration that you had behind it. And now as I watch the episodes and the videos, the inspiration, I always say the gems drop because they always drop some solid gems. And I got a little notebook going where I write them down because we live in a society where there's so much negativity. So when you get some good positivity from just something you watch, you got to keep promoting that. You got to keep cherishing that because it's hard to stay so positive when it's a lot of negativity going around or a lot of fear with being able to launch how to do things. So I really, really love the Currency Club and everything that you do. I'm going to continue to watch. Everybody make sure y'all check it out.
Hit that subscribe button to join the club.
Subscribe,
all that.
Comment.
Comment. Most importantly, comment.
Right.
Yes, thank you for that positive affirmation and the love and support. We definitely appreciate you. So with that being said, everybody hit that subscribe button to join the club.